Hello, learners. I welcome you all to GST 111, Introduction to Use of English 1. My name is Ituto Oladeji Titilayo, and I will be taking you through GST 111 for this semester. This morning, we'll be taking study section 1, Introduction to Use of Library 1. The learning outcome for study section 1. At the end of each study session, you should be able to define study skills, use basic comprehension skills, point out factors affecting comprehension, organize and use personal timetable, and lastly, use study materials. Defining study skills. Study is an activity that you undertake in order to gain knowledge, which you can use in solving problems. Also, you should be aware that effective study requires your mental, physical, communicative, and intellectual readiness. It should also take place in an conducive environment. Study skills. Study skills is just an activities that you undertake in order to gain what effective and efficient knowledge. And also when you are studying, it should be in a conducive environment, not in an environment that is very crowded or that is noisy. So if you want to study anything, if you want to maybe read, and also if you want to assimilate, in order to assimilate, you must what? You must study in a very, very conducive environment so that everything that you are studying, it will be able to sink into your brain, and also it will make what studying very easy for you. Let us continue. Note taking and note making skills. Note taking is an act of jotting down important points in an academic activity. This is an action carried out by you, the listener, to a lecture, seminar, and other related activities. Note taking. Note taking is just when the lecturer is explaining some things to you, is teaching you in the room or in the classroom. You must jot something down. Jotting down is just note taking. You jot the points, the reasonable point, the necessary points that the lecturers has pointed out, and in order to read, in order to make use of later. Note taking is just an act of jotting down important points that the lecturers had made. And even if you are reading on your own, it is compulsory for you to jot down material, to jot down what was the important part of what you've read. Let us go to note making. Okay, this is also note taking. Note taking is an act. Note making is a productive process of learning in which you study printed or e-materials on your own and develop your own notes on the material read. Note making involves 2 of the 4 essential skills necessary for academic success. The 2 skills are reading and also writing. Note making. Note making is when you read the material that is being given to you, either in a printed format or e-printed format. And we have 2 skills. We have reading and also writing skills. Reading is when you read what you've printed out or what you've jotted down, and also writing is what you've written down. Some guidelines to note making. Number 1 guideline: your note should be as concise and precise as possible. Your note should be up to date. If you want to read, or if you want to read to pass, read to learn, you must your notes, your material must be concise, and also it must be precise as possible. It must be up to date. Your notes must not be outdated. It must be up so that you will know what you are supposed to read, how you are supposed to go about it, where you stopped, and also where you started. And the second part is you should identify the focus of the notes, the subject matter of the note, the main points. You should know, you should identify, and also you should focus on the main points of each topic. For example, like GST 111, you should point out all the learning outcomes. We have up to like 4 or 5 learning outcomes in study session 1. You should know the topic and also watch what each topic, what it entails. The main points of each topic, you should know it, and also the minor points. We should also identify the underlying arguments of the author of the text and the mode of presentation adopted by the author. The note should be written in clear, legible handwriting to facilitate easy reading for revision, test, and also for examination. If you are jotting down or you are note making, your writing must be clear, it must be legible, and also it must facilitate its easy reading, either for revision, test, and also for examination. So your writing must be clear. You too, that you've written down something, you must be able to read what you've written down. So if you want to write anything down, if you want to note making, or if you want to take any notes down, your writing must be clear. Your writing must be clear. And also we have skimming and scanning of reading materials. Skimming, what is skimming? Skimming is recommended in your first reading of a material. This is expected to present to you an overall view of the study. However, you should note the following points in skimming. Number 1 point, your main preoccupation is to grasp the general view of the gist of the entire reading materials. The number 2 part, you are not yet to be preoccupied with the gathering of many details in the reading exercise. You should also be able to read fast and guide against rereading the area that you already read. And also, you should suppress all distraction and show a high sense of self-discipline and scholarly seriousness. Skimming. Skimming is just the first reading of your material. You can continue reading, you can continue, but the first aspect to do is just skimming. You read what the material, what it entails, what the material is all about. And when you are reading, you should avoid distraction. Some of you, when you are reading, you will take your phone, you'll be pressing your phone, and at the same time, you will say you are reading. That is not reading. If you are reading, you should avoid any distraction, and also you should have self-discipline in order to assimilate what you've read, and for you to pass. You read to pass, and also you read to learn. Scanning. Scanning is where you read a material a second time. You should use the reading skills of scanning. This will enable you to search for definite answer to specific question in the material being read. Outline. When you are reading, scanning is the second time of reading, because you've done what? You've done skimming the first time, in which you just read through what's the material, what it is all about, how the outline, how the study session, how it is being, the learning outcome, how it is being in the material. But scanning is when you read the second time. Reading the second time, it will not be new to you because you've done skimming first. And the second part is scanning. Scanning is when you read the second time, in which you are familiarizing yourself with the material. An important device for securing logical development in writing is the outline. An outline gives the picture of the content and structure of an essay by showing the details major division and subdivision, and the arrangement of ideas at what at different level. Basic comprehension skills. Comprehension is the undertaking of grasping of idea or meaning. Comprehension requires the acquisition of a set of skills of habits to aid your understanding of spoken and also written substances. We have storing information in your memory. When you get information, you have to store it in a memory. This, as you know, is crucial to studying since you need to retain what you read or hear when studying or when you are receiving lectures. There are two types of memory. We have short-term memory and also long-term memory. For short-term memory, it is the storing of information in your mind for a short time before you dismiss it or transfer it to a long-term memory. Long-term memory may last for few days or many years. However, both types can weaken due to age, stress, or varieties of other reasons, including clinical condition. Short-term memory is just when you read and also when you read for a short time. But long-term memory is when you read and you remember it for a longer time than short-term memory. Some learners, when exam is coming up, they read, when they read and also when they write the exam, they forget what they read. That is for short-term memory. Some people, they will say, exam is coming up. This is just for me to pick up my notebook or my notepad. Let me read it. After reading, let me put everything down during exam. And after putting everything down during exam, they will forget. That is not good enough. But for long-term memory is when you read, you assimilate, and also you remember for a longer period of time. It's not that you just read for exam. You read for exam, you read for a longer time. You read to remember, and also you read to assimilate. You read to understand. That is what long-term memory is. But for short-term memory is just when you read and also you forget for a short period of time. But for long-term memory, you read, you learn, you assimilate, and also you remember for a longer period of time. And also the following ways which improve your ability to remember things. We have chunking. This is the process of grouping things together to help you memorize them. For instance, chunking is what you do when you list a phone number with dashes, which makes it easy to memorize. And also we have association. This is when you visualize or create mental image that can be used to develop or aid your memory in trying to remember information over a long period of time. You can associate it with an image or something else. We have acronyms. This is the act of creating a word from the first letter of list of words or expression you need to learn to make it easy for you to remember them. You can create your own acronyms or use a popular one for lists that are general. For example, WHO, that is World Health Organization. You know, in our learning, in our materials, you will see a lot of topics. Maybe maybe it says the types of or list of a particular topic in a material. They will list the important part, they will list this down, or they will say the type of something, they will list it down. When listing it down, the first letter of the thing they listed out, you can develop acronym for it, whereby you will be able to remember. They give us an instance here, WHO, is just what? WHO is just a short abbreviation of World Health Organization. And we have a lot of acronyms too. So if you develop, when you are studying, when you are reading, you develop an acronym for your own, you form your acronym for your own words, for easy reading, and also for easy assimilating, so that you will be able to remember what you've read. If it is a list of something and you give it your own acronym, after giving it your own acronym, you will be able to remember what they've listed out. That is what acronym is. And also using personal timetable with other studying materials for personal timetable. For building your personal timetable, it is important for you to note the following. Evaluate each of your courses carefully and note new and difficult that are likely to require more time. By now, you should have your own personal timetable. It is not when exam is coming up you develop your own timetable. It is when the semester comes up, that is when you develop your own timetable. So that after the normal lecture, after the lecturers have done his or her own part, you will be able to go back to your own notes and find time to read your own personal timetable. Maybe if it is GST 111 you want to read for today, maybe GST 111 in the morning, GST 121 in the evening. You should be able to maneuver your time, so that you will not have a wasted time. And by so doing, you should have your own personal timetable. Having personal timetable will make reading easy for you, and also it will make learning easy for you. And also making provision for assignments and tutorials. You should be able to know what time you will do your assignments, what time you will do your tutorials, and what time you will come in for normal lecture and for your own personal reading. After you might have done the normal lecture, you should have your own personal time to make use of, to read, and also to do your assignments, to do your tutorial. And provision to study in the library. You should be able to go to the library to read, and also to require for material, to learn more of what you've read or what the lecturers has done in the class. You should read more, far more than your lecturers, so that you will know what's the topic, what's the course, what it entails. And also make provision for group discussion. You should have a forum whereby you discuss about your topic. If you want to discuss about MCH 101, you should have a group discussion. Have a rep that will be able to put you through. Maybe the person that knows the topic more should be able to guide you about what the particular topic, what it means. So the group discussion is also good during your own personal timetable. And also we have extra curricular activities such as games and sports, club membership, and other social religious activities. They said all work no play make a Jack a dull boy. So if you are reading, you should also create a time to play games, join group club membership, and other social activities. Judicious use of personal timetable. As a student, your personal timetable gives direction to your daily activities. Therefore, you must use it properly and follow the time allowance strictly. A personal timetable ensures your judicious share of time to all your demands. Therefore, you must accommodate necessary adjustments to new needs and unavoidable changes. Thank you.